All right, let's do it.
Thanks for coming, dude.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
Especially last minute. I appreciate it.
Of course, I'm always texting Canada whenever I see him on his way here. I say, well, when am I getting on the pod next? So happy to be here.
Oh, that's right. I forget. And you always will use your various burner accounts to comment on posts.
I don't have any burner accounts. It must just be people that want me.
You've got at least 6 burner accounts, I think.
I've got a few going now. I think I've recently got up to like 12 Twitter burners.
What the fuck? What do you use them for?
They're all for different things. It's, they're niche-y,
Okay.
I got one that's, if you ever watch or follow the Not Danny Heatley account, I know Canada will know what I'm talking about, but I have a new one called the Not Up for Debate bot. So he'll post an absurd list of like top 10 best athletes, and he'll have like Rachel Starr on it.
Right.
And leave out like Michael Jordan, and people be like, this makes no sense, and then I just have to comment back and be like, sorry, you clearly didn't see it's not up for debate. And be like, there's always the mythical man, and it's like, I'd love to go to the man and help you out, but if I did it for you, I gotta do it for everybody, and just time permitting, can't do it. Sorry, man.
When did you start doing this stuff?
I've always been into the Twitter burners, but that one's pretty recent. I super follow one person, and it's him, and he was like complaining about 1,000 people, not really complaining, but just kind of laughing at it, like, how are people not seeing this? But it's kind of like a running meme, and it's just funny. I don't know, personal enjoyment, I guess, is the real gist of it.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think if I didn't know you, but I saw this account like fucking with somebody, I'd be like, oh, this is just like some weird asshole who some people just want to watch the world burn or whatever.
Yeah, well,
but it's almost like it's just a very different kind of it's like playing a game kind of, it sounds like.
I feel like everyone says like, oh, the Twitter bot account problem. Like, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's like the most fun part of being on there, right?
It's like the solution.
Yeah, make this really fun and enjoyable. Like, there's clearly the people on there that are very serious that maybe shouldn't joke around.
Right.
But there's like a whole comedy part of it. And I feel like if you've been in social media from the beginning, like, you get it. And then you have like, I don't know, maybe our parents or aunts and uncles who just don't really understand that like your social media version of you does not have to be like your real life version.
Yeah.
Which, save that for like LinkedIn or something.
Right.
So I have some fun with the Twitter accounts, but so we were just talking about how Matt was saying I should dress up as him, and it's funny because he's got all his clothes on his bed. I guess he'll find out when he reads this, but I was rummaging through them trying to figure out like Matt's 6'2" and I'm 5'7", so what can I actually fit into here? And I was rushing to get here, and I was like, oh, this is never going to work, but that was my original plan. If I had more time, was I was going to go through and look at a couple podcasts and see like what has he worn in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like really thinking like I've seen him with the sunglasses, a hat, like it's probably like the green Sabres hoodie. I know
that's literally what Emily said. Was like just put him in a hat and sunglasses and whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, when Matthew told me the idea, because Matthew is trapped in Baltimore. He was on his way from Las Vegas, and then that FAA thing fucking happened, and so he's not here. But when he told me that idea, I was like, that's hilarious. But I was like, how do we really kind of want to play it? Like, am I just going to be talking to somebody who's like really trying to be an over-the-top version of him the whole time or whatever? Yeah. And then do I want to just keep the title like Matt and Andy, and we just talk regular, but we never like address it or anything? Or do I change it to like Andy and Alex or whatever, which like makes it sound like we sell homemade candles or some shit? But like, I think we'll probably just do that because I don't know, it's whatever.
Yeah, and we could start selling some candles if you want.
I've thought about like, I see people making candles and stuff, and it's one of those things that I guess is harder than it looks. It looks super easy to make your own candles because they don't even have to look good, I don't imagine. But Where do you get the wax though? Like, how do you start making candles? That's my question. Like, where do you get the wax from?
No idea.
Do you just melt a bunch of other candles?
I don't.
Because I get that, but then are you really like? Then you're just dipping wick into wax that you've already melted. That doesn't sound like a hobby to me. That sounds like a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like candles are one of those things where it's like they got it pretty down pat. Like if you're out buying a candle on
Sure.
Etsy, I'm sure they had something similar to this at Target, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I'm not really sure what you're planning on getting out of making some candles. A lot of things that I see like people are making by hand, I'm like,
That was like a big pandemic thing, I think. It was like people got super into making bread and people got super into making candles. And at least making bread, like, there's a lot of steps to it and stuff.
yeah.
And maybe there's a lot of steps to making candles, but I doubt it.
Have you seen those little machines? They're like, you basically just dump your stuff in and it spins around and then heats up and makes bread for you. I saw some dude on TikTok that's like, oh, you'll never eat bread the same way again. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like bread's one of those things. Like, we've been making it forever.
Yeah.
Like, just go to the store and just buy a fresh load made of.
Go to DiCamillo's. Dude, I was in the Virgin Islands this last week.
Yeah.
And we went with my mom's whole side of the family, a bunch of my different aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff, you know. And my one uncle, I told him, I was like, you've changed the way that I travel forever. Because he was on the same flight with me from Buffalo all the way to the Virgin Islands. And when we got to the Buffalo airport in the morning, he had this big suitcase with him. And he was the only one who had like this massive suitcase. And I didn't really, I'm like, oh, he's got, bunch of outfit changes, whatever. I didn't really think much of it. So we get to the house in the Virgin Islands, like 12 hours of traveling that day. And he opens up this big suitcase, and there's like 4 loaves of DiCamillo's bread. There's a bunch of frozen meatballs that he made and froze. There's a bunch of sausage and like 4 big gallon bags of sauce and homemade pasta that he had prepped like 2 nights before, froze it all, and traveled with it for 12 hours. Put that shit on the plane and brought it with him to the Virgin Islands. And the one night when we like cooked it all and made it, it was fucking awesome. It was it was crazy. I can't believe somebody is putting this much effort into this, but dude, it was worth it. To wake up in the morning in some different time zone, some completely different place, especially from here because it's like tropical there. So to wake up in the morning and it's like super hot and humid and the sun is shining, and then toast up some DiCamillo's was incredible.
I feel like that's like one of the main parts missing from vacation, right? Like, you go on vacation, you're finally able to relax, and you're like, man, how nice would it? Like, we were just in Mexico, and one of the things every day is me and Ellie were just like, oh, I could crush some mozzarella sticks and some pizza, and it's just like, oh wait, like we have this shitty pizza and these really like kind of just sat out all day mozzarella sticks, like just. Not the same. Like, imagine just like if you could go to a resort in a tropical country, right? And then you get to bring all of your homey foods with you too. Just what an idea. We actually, funny on the bringing food in a suitcase though. When I went to Aruba, my stepdad's thing. I have no idea why. He was like, "You guys got to bring home some Gouda cheese." So we brought home this like, I'm not even kidding you, like 2-foot wide wheel of Gouda cheese that we had to like bring through customs. And it was just such an odd thing to have to declare. They're like, got any, bringing any poultry, food, dairy back with you? We're like, yeah, this 20-pound wheel of Gouda cheese. And I have to imagine we're one of the only people that have done that.
No way, dude. I think cheese is probably one of the biggest things that people try and move. Because some cheese is, like, illegal in the U.S.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's why, you know how, as far as cheeses go, French cheese is, like, very talked about, I guess, in those cheese circles. It's because they like don't pasteurize it or something, and any cheese in the U.S. Has to be this type of pasteurized or whatever here. So it tastes different over there, I guess better or something, but some of those cheeses are like illegal. So as far as I know, there's like a whole. It's the same shit as like Cuban cigars, right?
Yeah.
Like, people are getting them into the country. Like, somehow people are smuggling cheese into the country. There's a whole cheese cartel that's happening right under our noses.
That
Without a doubt.
When we went to Italy, it was the same thing. It was like you can only take so much olive oil with you because they have special olive oil or something. But
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if some olive oil is legal. My parents just went to Italy a while ago, and they said they did like an olive oil tasting.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds fucking awesome.
it was delicious. So the first night we're there, my sister takes us into this little town, Aversa, something along those lines, and we go to dinner. We've been on flights all day, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do this everywhere I go, but I love pasta and meat sauce, so I'm like, first thing I'm getting is some ragu. So the restaurant has ragu. I order it, right? Everyone knows what pasta and meat sauce looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out. It looks like a donut-filled pasta wheel with like green stuff poured over the top of it, and this cheese like in the middle of the wheel. And they put it on the table, and we're all just kind of like sitting there chuckling at like, this is just not what we expected it to be at all. And it was like a pasta that they like rolled around like a pierogi in a wheel with like,
So the whole plate was just one piece of pasta?
it looked like a donut.
Got it.
And then this green stuff poured over the top, and it was olive oil, which, you know, being from the States, you don't expect to be
Right.
that like vividly green.
Yeah.
And like braised beef and sauce in the middle of it. It was absolutely amazing, like to die for, but just such a random thing to see. And that was my first experience with the Italian olive oil, and I gotta say, top tier.
Oh my God.
Top tier.
I love olive oil so much. I
Yeah.
feel like over here, I mean, I've never been to Europe. But I hear they, use
You haven't
a lot
been to
more,
Europe?
whatever. I've never been to
I
Europe.
feel like you're a Europe
we
guy.
were supposed to go to Spain one time.
Yeah.
And I think because my parents like really wanted to go, and I think Matthew and I were in early high school maybe or middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Probably middle school because they were like, it was at an age where they have to take us. Like
Yeah.
they don't have anybody to watch us. They can't just leave us home alone. So they're like, well, if we want to go to Europe, and I guess we got to take these kids. So, they're like, they wanted to go to Spain really bad to check it out. And I was like, yeah, let's go. But Matthew, he's so afraid of flying.
yeah, of
and he
planes.
refused to go over the ocean to get anywhere. So we couldn't go to Spain. And that's the only time I was ever going to be able to
Yeah.
like really afford to go over there, right?
Yeah.
So I've never been to Europe. It's a new year, folks. New year, new you. Okay, you got a lot of resolutions that you're trying to keep. You're busy, all right, getting in shape, doing all this stuff, eating right, okay? You don't need any stress in your life when you're trying to make yourself the best you can be. And that is why there is Instacart. Because with Instacart, you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. You don't need to go all the way to the grocery store. You don't have time for that. And why would you want to? It's a terrible place. Even the parking lot is an absolute mess. My God, I can't believe that as a society, there are still people out there leaving empty shopping carts right in parking spots, good parking spots, because it's always packed at the grocery store, and you're driving along and you see, oh my God, I can't believe I got a spot right there up at the front. You go to pull in and some piece of shit has left their cart there. Well, fuck that. All right, use Instacart. Like I said, whatever you're looking for delivered right to your front door. And the best part is right now, Tune the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you have to do is spend $10 and Instacart will deliver whatever it is you're looking for right to your front door. No delivery fee. All you have to do to get that great deal is hit the link in this episode description and start making life a little easier on yourself in 2023 and use Instacart today. Folks, if you're looking to do something nice for yourself and support the show, a great thing to do is check out all of the sick merch we've got over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Some new stuff is going to be going up there soon. Make sure you check it out. Link's going to be in this episode description and in our Instagram bio. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, tri-blend material, super soft, Target quality, you know the drill. All kinds of great accessories, mugs, water bottles, cool stuff like that. slides, a lot of great stuff, not just for Two in the Cooler, but also for Schemin' and Dreamin' and for Quested, the other two podcasts that we produce right here. So go check out all of that stuff. It's a great way to support the show and do something a little nice for yourself. Again, that's snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Link is right in this episode description. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show, Schemin' and Dreamin', or Quested, the Dungeons & Dragons podcast that we produce right here, you can email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Because podcast, as it's been booming, it's attracting, well, what I should say is these large companies are figuring out the effectiveness of podcast advertising, especially if you're trying to reach, a demographic that's under 65 years old and older, because those are the people that are watching TV. Those are the people who are listening to most radio stations and stuff like that. So if you want to reach an actual target audience, a desirable audience, podcasting is the way to go. These large companies are realizing that, like McDonald's, State Farm, they're starting to advertise on podcasts. It's crazy. It's cool to see them move away from more traditional media into the podcasting space, but the problem is it hasn't left enough room for smaller local companies to get in on the action and see all the benefits to podcast advertising, but that's why we're here. So if you're interested in learning more about all those benefits, reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com.
Yeah,
I've never even smelled it.
Definitely got to go. Maybe that can be your honeymoon trip, right?
That'd be cool, because we've been thinking about it, and we got to plan it, but, the wedding's coming up fast, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It's happening in June.
It's funny, actually, this morning before we had talked about doing this, I saw your wedding invitation on the fridge, and I have pictures from when I was in, like, California that we did, like, family pictures, and it looks exactly how that, which I don't know if this is good or bad, but yeah, for sure. And I saw them, and I was like, how the hell did we get these pictures of me? And I, like, literally picked it up off the fridge, and I was like, this isn't me. And I was like, this is Andy. And, yeah, but for sure, definitely got to do a Europe trip. I highly recommend it. I had a blast in Italy, and I think you guys would have a good time.
I just want to go for the food, man.
Yeah.
That's literally the number one thing I want to go for. Anywhere we go, there wasn't like a lot of, because the Virgin Islands, it's an interesting place. We went on like this scuba tour thing one time.
Yep.
And one of the guys, because a lot of the people who work down there all move there at some point, like when they're in college or stuff usually.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them will work there seasonally throughout their entire lives almost and stuff like that. But this one kid had grown up on St. John's for his whole life, and he was giving us the whole lowdown and stuff. And like, it's just weird because it's not, the U.S. got these Virgin Islands that are theirs in the 1940s to stop Germany from getting them then during World War II. And, it's just a U.S. territory now the same way that Puerto Rico is. And, obviously it's been a U.S. territory for so long. One of my uncles was like, why? I can't believe it's not, it's been a territory for so long. How come it's not a state? And it's just this thing of it's such a vacation destination that it's worth more to the country not being a state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you got to, like, there are different rules, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take care of it in certainly different ways and stuff that they just don't do. And, like, it's pretty nice, but it's weird because, like I said, so many of the people, because of that, the whole island is essentially just a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few pockets of local culture, I would say, as much as you can get, but most of it is not that. Especially, obviously, the economy is completely tourist-based, but so there's no, like, local cuisine exactly or whatever. Like, there was the guy who we rented the house from, was, like, suggesting some places and stuff, and he suggested, like, an Italian place or whatever, and then he suggested some place that he said was more like, local or whatever, and it was just like steak and lobster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was great. Obviously, they've got a lot of sick seafood there, but it's not like it's lacking that rich cultural element that like really makes you go crazy for food. You know what I mean?
For sure, definitely feel that. So, I feel like maybe everyone listening doesn't know, but Andy, I feel like this is probably one of the few times I've ever sat down one-on-one with you.
It's probably the only time, I feel like.
Yeah, besides maybe you strolling in the house while I'm waiting for Matthew to get there back when you guys were living at home. So tell me, what's new with you? Maybe everyone else wants to know too. What's going on in life? I haven't gotten a chance to catch up with you.
Oh, I mean, just getting the wedding going.
Yeah.
Working on podcast stuff. I'll tell you what, dude. Being in the Virgin Islands, it was cool. And like it was so beautiful there.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it so weird when you go to a place like that and you're just like, wow, the water's so nice. But like it's true. You know? I got to touch a sea turtle, which was sick.
That's pretty sweet.
Because there you go like snorkeling everywhere because there's like a million beaches and there's always shit to look at. So this one is like where the sea turtles hang out. So this woman that we met was like, if you go to this place, you'll see the sea turtles. And that's all I cared about. Sea turtles, like top 2 animals for me. So I go out alone snorkeling in this place and I'm looking around and I'm like, where the fuck are these turtles? And then right next to me, boom, turtle pops up. I'm like, wow. So I'm like swimming with this turtle for 40 minutes and you're not supposed to touch them. But this one...
But you live life on the edge, right?
But I like to do things a little dangerously, Alex. But this turtle, they don't need to come up for air that often. But this one was coming up like every 10 minutes or so.
Probably because someone else touched them.
I don't know. But I was hanging out with this turtle for a long time. And then it would pop up and it would be, this close to me. Like right there. And one time it was going down, it was like... I got to do it. So I just like raised his shell and stuff. It was awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
Really
and
cool.
If we hear about a sea turtle epidemic,
we
know who started it. Yeah.
The way that we got COVID from bats is what I did to sea turtles.
Yeah, we're in ground zero right now.
I'm the plastic straws of humans.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. So small wedding, big wedding, or
I think pretty big. I don't know what the average wedding size is, but we got like around 200 people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a bigger
definitely
wedding or something, like a fairly normal sized thing.
It didn't have to make any cuts for it.
I don't think so. Actually,
no roster decisions.
I think we did get. I think we might have had to cut Chris McCune.
Yeah,
I think Chris got cut.
There you go. Yeah, no, but this is your chance to bail yourself out. Say no, it's a small, intimate thing.
Oh yeah. No, it's big. It's just not big enough for Chris.
I've always said like if people want to do like a small, intimate wedding, the biggest get out of jail free card is just be like, oh, it's a destination wedding. Sorry.
Sure.
And then
and then
you can just get people to back out on their own. Yeah. It's not even, you don't have to do anything for it.
Yeah, because they don't want to go if that's the case. But no, it'll be cool. But getting back from vacation, like last night, it just feels good to be like back here and like back working and stuff. Like
I'm the same way. I get like the work bug as soon as I go out on vacation. It's hard to just. I get like 2 moods. It's either like oh man, I could probably drop everything I'm doing. Like that's the greatest part about becoming an adult, right? You're like, I could just stop everything I'm doing, drop off the face of the earth, and live in this little town in the middle of Mexico.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything would really change in the world. But at the same time, like my girlfriend was yelling at me the whole time because I'm on my computer doing work in the morning and stuff. And she's like, just enjoy vacation.
Dude, isn't that the thing? Like, it sounds like maybe you do this too, but like when I'm going to sleep at night, I'm thinking like, okay, if I wake up a little bit earlier than everybody else, I can just do work and like not feel weird about everybody else being around and me like typing away on stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But I don't know. Like today, it was, I didn't get to do as much down there as I thought I would because the internet went out on the whole island the one day. Because it's all like one fiber optic cable, and a boat cut the line. So one morning we woke up and like, nobody could take credit cards anywhere or anything like that. Like the whole island, it was like, no internet. Sorry, dude. Like, don't know what to tell you. So it was weird.
So when we were just down in Mexico, we went and did these cenote tours. and they're basically just like these saltwater holes, caves, just kind of like in the middle of land. So we go to do one, and it was, I don't know, probably a 30-40 minute drive, like from the ocean. Right now we're outside of town, and we're just like in the middle of a forest, and you're swimming in these like holes, which Mexico, like, not a third world country, but not like overly developed.
Sure.
And we're like in the forest in like a natural habitat, and they have like these little tiki bars at each of the ones where you can, get a drink, but it's not like anything crazy. And we go up to the one, and we didn't have our wallets with us because you're swimming in each hole. You just put them in a locker at like the check-in station, I guess. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to get drinks at one of the places we stopped, and only had our phones, and Ellie had her Apple Watch, and I'm like, "Do you guys take Apple Pay?" And he goes, "Oh yeah," and like holds up the credit card processor. I'm like, this is crazy, the world that we've turned into. Like a place where you'd think like, 5 years ago is probably like cash only probably. Now I can take my phone with internet connection and just tap it to pay. Just such a crazy change in the world.
It's super weird. I mean, you hear stories about like Michael Richards, the guy who played Kramer on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I heard him tell this story one time about being in the Amazon or somewhere like that, and on some kind of tour, and running into this tribe of people who live in the jungle, and they don't really speak English or anything, they speak whatever like the native language was down there, some kind of Spanish or something like that, and all these people are like, Kramer, and there was one little hut that had one cable going to it where they could watch like Seinfeld rerun, shit from like the 90s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just the way you can't escape anything.
They're just running like the world's longest Ethernet cord from the
Dude,
closest
basically.
city. Like,
and that's kind of like when you just talked about thinking, you could leave everything and go to a little town. I have that same fantasy about getting like a cabin in the mountains or something and just not being near anyone or anything, but you can't really avoid it anymore, unless you have to. It's different because now you have to actively try to get away from it because it's it's kind of looking for you. Yeah. Like it's a human driven machine. It's a consumer driven machine basically, right?
Yeah.
And so now that is the different part, is that it's looking for you as opposed to you just being able to walk away from it.
I like the Kramer thing. You ever watch It's Always Sunny?
Oh yeah.
I love the one when Charlie pretends to be Kramer. Oh my gosh, I've been getting back into that show. I don't know why I ever stopped watching it, but just like one of the funniest shows of all time.
Oh yeah, man, it's the best. They've been on for so long too, like 15 years or something now. I want to say. I
know they were just talking about like The Office. Mindy Kramer was said like, The Office could never survive in this day and age, and that was like the main argument was like they still make It's Always Sunny, that, right? Like,
yeah, that's a weird. That show exists like out of time, basically. Like it. Everybody knows that it's one of the funniest shows in the world. It's on FX now, which is like FX has really come into its own, I would say, like recently, but it's been on like a cable network for a long time. People know how goddamn funny it is, but it never gets super talked about. And Charlie Day's like, he's been in movies and stuff. Like he's a pretty big star. He's got like deals with Mountain Dew and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely not a nobody. He's a big known person. Obviously Danny DeVito, that guy's been around forever and people love him. But they never get nominated for like any awards or anything like that. They just kind of exist and do their own thing. And it is weird because obviously that what you can get away with and what you can't get away with, like people talk about that shit all the time, and they never talk about Always Sunny and the fact that show is absolutely wild.
Yeah, the stuff that they get away with is absolutely
like
crazy.
I mean, how many fucking blackface episodes did they do with the like Lethal Weapon parodies? Like at least 3.
I didn't even notice. I think it's almost comical that the blackface episodes get taken down, and the ones where they literally say the N-word are like, oh, that, well, this is,
Dude,
yeah,
they
that
like
didn't cross the line. Like, we can acknowledge that they're scumbags in these ones, and in the other ones, we're like, no.
Yeah, they sell a baby at one point. They try to sell a baby in the episode.
Yeah.
And then I don't think this one's been taken down from anywhere, but they find a baby and they're like, we have to sell it, and nobody wants to buy the baby, and they think it's because the baby is white, and they're looking at like Madonna and Angelina Jolie and stuff adopting all these kids who are, you know, not white, and so they try and paint the episode ends with them in the bar painting the baby like brown to try and make its market value go up. Like, that's fucking crazy.
And like the line, just where they draw the line just gets me. Like, the first 2 episodes are trying to prove that they're not racist, and then the next 2 after that are when they're trying to hook up with the high school students, and they're like, no, I definitely wouldn't hook up with a high school student. They're like, but I want to go to the prom, and you know, I want to go to the prom because everyone knows you hook up at prom. And it's like, what? It's like, wait a second.
And it's a weird thing, man, because it's like sometimes it's okay because we know they're terrible people and we know they're idiots and stuff, and then sometimes that's not a good enough excuse for them to do these things. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not one to say you have to choose that it's either black or white, all or nothing, but it just seems weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The gist of it is, though, hysterical show. They just, the characters, they nail it.
Oh my god!
And I was just watching the other day. They do like the Airbnbs where they're trying to like, basically like Dennis is trying to like entrap a woman to sharing a room with him, and it's just like, you can be not paying attention and find out the plot of the episode, and you're like, wait, what? what is happening?
So weird. Here? Best Christmas special of any TV show ever. Also.
Yeah.
The one where Charlie like bites Santa because he realizes that like, oh my god, that's one of the funniest episodes of TV I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just it's a great show to get a little baked and sit there and watch.
Oh, 100%. And the other thing about what you were saying about The Office is like people watch The Office nonstop.
Yeah, like it's like the whole reason Peacock exists.
Yeah, seriously. Like so I don't know. It's weird. You know, it's kind of like. I think about when people say, like, I mean, maybe South Park or something, for example. They're like, you can't say this because people are going to think that it's okay. And I'm like, do you think it's okay, though? Because obviously they don't. They're watching this and they're like, that's... You know, I see this as TV. I don't think that this is now. I don't think that like killing somebody or whatever is now a good thing. So I'm like, are you the smartest person in the world?
Yeah.
Then do you just think everybody else is that dumb? Because sure, there's a lot of dumb people, but you're not that much smarter than everybody else. That like, I think it's insulting and degrading to think that everybody is going to be influenced by something when you're not influenced by it.
It's like the video game debate, right? Like,
yeah, sure.
Oh, I hop on Call of Duty and go on a mass shooting spree, and now I obviously makes little to no sense. But
you know, I was talking about video games with Matthew and mine with our mom recently because you know she was a teacher and stuff. So like, and, you know, she grew up in, like, the 70s or whatever, so it was all kids playing outside and stuff. And she was like, it's a shame that, you know, kids go home and now they, instead of saying to their friends, I'll meet you, you know, in the park, like, I'll meet you on Xbox or whatever. And you know what? I mean, your body needs sunlight, obviously, but, like, as far as the social interaction part goes, it's just a different version of the playground.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's not a bad thing. It's just new. It's just
think about how many times we showed up to your house. We would bring the full TVs,
that
Xboxes.
Was so funny.
I long for those days. Everyone who says high school sucked, like, no. High school was the best time ever. I had 0 responsibilities. Even when I got responsibilities, it was like, okay, I will work the exact amount of hours that I need to get through exactly what I need to get through for the next week.
Yeah.
And outside of that, I will trap myself in a basement and do just like Oh my gosh, so much fun. Like we would just go play old man's hockey leagues and play play hockey for school and have a great time. And the school, looking back on it, was not difficult at all.
No, dude, it was. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't remember paying attention in class once, honestly. And it was like, I think we were kind of lucky in that because people do struggle through school sometimes and stuff, but for us, it was like you can just kind of be very passive about the whole thing and just kind of, it's basically just like standing around waiting for those moments where you like do get to hang out and talk with your friends. It's all about just like waiting for lunch or waiting for gym, honestly, you know what I mean? And then like, okay, you can like see something or whatever, and then you just like whip out a test, get a B or an A or something on it, and you're like good to go.
Get some pin dodge in you.
Get some pin dodge. Oh my god, dude. I will. You know what? Pin dodge is probably because I was never a big pin dodge guy, but it's probably the thing that I think about most when I remember high school because there were those guys, which pin dodge was like the dodgeball game that was played at our high school, and there were those guys who would just be in there all day, just every free period they had, and they would have like 5 free periods if they were seniors or whatever. They'd just be in pin dodge all day. And that's honestly the saddest thing I can think of. I remember this one guy so specifically. Like, I remember walking into the gym, and he was already there because he had been there from the class before. Yeah. And he's just sitting against the wall, chugging from a Gatorade bottle, and he's got, like, some fucking piece of American flag bandana, like, tied around his head.
Yeah,
and
his name's Matt Canada. Yeah.
But I just seen these guys and be like, wow, this guy really needs this. and I was like, I don't really.
Like, it's gonna suck when I smack you with a ball, right?
Not back then. I did not learn how to use my body until I was about 17.
Yeah, you were just growing into it.
I was just growing into it. Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah, Matt was
hit in the face a lot.
You guys got good genes though. Matt was telling me your dad's still running like 4 miles a day.
Yeah, he runs 3 miles every day.
I don't even know where someone finds the time to do that, let alone the motivation.
Well, he wakes up at like 6:15, and then I guess he doesn't have to go to work until like 9. So he, but I'm staying at their house. So I was staying there last night, and the guy, I mean, all he eats is like wheat checks. That's like the only thing. Like I woke up today and I went into their cupboard, and it was just like, it was 4 boxes of wheat checks and then 1 box of Golden Grams that he'll like indulge in on the weekends.
Yeah.
And he like, Jerry, he likes a snack. Like he likes an ice cream sandwich every once in a while. But just one, and definitely not every day, you know what I mean? But yeah, we definitely, I mean, hopefully we got lucky with the genes. I think there's a jiu-jitsu place that opened up across the street, and I was telling Matthew that I think I want to give that a go.
That could be your next content piece, is like you and Matt have to do like a week of training in jiu-jitsu, and then try and compete against each other, and we'll see what happens.
That honestly sounds like it would get too intense. Like, I feel like some old wounds would open up if we tried to do that.
So you guys are big WWE guys, right?
Yeah.
Are you denouncing WWE now that the Saudis own them? This is your chance. No, wait. Think before you respond.
That's been debunked.
It's been debunked?
There was no sale.
Oh, I saw it on Reddit this morning.
I know. I saw it this morning too, but it came out this afternoon that no deal was actually like put in place. So it's possible that like they will, but I don't know if they're even talking about it.
Yeah,
they might be, but I know that there's no sale right now.
Okay, I was going to tell you to be careful there because I don't know where your viewership stands. You don't want to mess up any of those metrics. You come back tomorrow and you're canceled. You got to close the studio. And
if we could get even just one Saudi prince to like listen to the podcast regularly, I'd be so happy because those guys have so much money. A good one though, because some of them are so fucked up. Because like they can literally do anything they want, and most of the things they want to do are terrible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But some of them, I bet you, like, there's got to be a couple cool ones out there.
I never, like, not that, like, I think drinking is, like, this important, but, like, the no alcohol thing, like, how does a brand like WWE as Stone Cold Steve Austin smashing beers across his face, like, how do the morals align there? I can't grasp it Or like even some of the PGA guys like went to go play on the Saudi tour. Like,
oh yeah,
where does this fit in? Like, I can't get it.
that's a good call.
Like, what now?
You know what though?
Do they just black out the screen when Stone Cold Steve Austin comes on to smash a beer across his face? Or
Well, I'll tell you what. A couple things. Obviously, Stone Cold's not like actively wrestling now. The WWE has changed so much since then. Like, it's become way more family friendly. Like, you can't even show blood really unless it's by accident. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's still
that's crazy because like what Rey Mysterio's thing was like grab the face and make him bleed from the mouth. Like, that
there's none of like that shit anymore. It's still super entertaining, but that's the thing is it's so much more focused on the entertainment than the actual fighting wrestling stunt part of it. And obviously, dude, like, money.
Yeah, money talks.
Exactly. Like, hey, it is what it is.
I got another thing because I know you guys are big on Nick Cage. One incredible Christmas gift by you for Matthew. I'm sure he's talked about it.
We haven't talked about it yet because we didn't get a chance to. Like, this is the only episode that we recorded this year, like after Christmas, was we had to do the Who Would Win tournament.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a regular episode yet.
So I won't steal Matthew's shine there, but this is your clickbait for next week. Matthew has an incredible Christmas gift from you.
Yeah. I want it. There's so many more details to it. Yeah. Only 2 other people besides me. Oh, no, 3 know the full scale of what I've given Matthew, but
I like that there's a scale because now I know that I don't know where he is in his journey yet.
Dude, I know it's dumb to we'll go into details, but I'll just say real quick, like, Matthew has to solve a puzzle basically to, like, get his full Christmas gift. When I put this thing together, I was like, this first part, he's either going to get it immediately or he's not going to get it.
Yeah.
And he has not gotten it. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, look, dude, this is relatively very easy, especially for a guy who talks about ciphers and National Treasure so much.
Just get in his head.
Dude, I was telling him this the other day, and he, like, got so mad he wouldn't even look at me.
I can only imagine this entire day of traveling has been all about solving this thing, but I can't.
Well, he didn't go on the trip. Oh, Matthew's trip now.
Yeah,
that he's
Matthew's
been on?
trip now.
That's right. Stuck in Baltimore. He's got a lot of time to work on that shit.
Oh, and he was
dude,
stuck in Vegas earlier. Yeah. So obviously, big Nick Cage fans. One, I'm going to expose Matthew a little bit here. He didn't watch the Nick Cage movie about Nick Cage.
Oh, he didn't watch that? Well, first and foremost, we're National Treasure fans, way more than Nick Cage fans.
Okay,
like, that's what it is. It's about the property. It's not necessarily about Nick Cage. I'll respect him in that movie. Did you watch it?
So this was my short thing about it was, so me and my girlfriend were hanging out the other night, and we're trying to pick a movie to watch. We were going to see Avatar. And then we were both like, I don't want to sit through a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, Babylon's in theaters. We should go see Babylon. Babylon is also 3 hours and 15 minutes. So note to Hollywood, chill on the 3 hour plus movies. They're very tough to sit through. Or at least, like, if you're AMC, like, give us a break in the middle. Like, it's tough to be like, oh, it's a 3 hour movie and you also can't use the bathroom because you're going to miss everything.
Right.
So there's that. So we're sitting at home, and I'm just sending her movies. I'm like, here's a good movie, here's a good movie, here's a good movie that I haven't seen yet. So I send her the Nick Cage one, and she picks that. I'm sending her trailers, everything. Like, just pick one, watch the trailer, tell me something that you like. So we start watching it, and she's, like, not really involved in it. We're, like, 20 minutes in. And I'm like, don't you like this? She says, I'm not a big Nick Cage fan. I'm like, why would you pick the movie starring Nick Cage? That's not even just starring him. It's literally about him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we rented it, got like 25 minutes through, and I was sitting there today thinking I've passed my 48-hour limit. So if I want to watch it again, at this point, I might as well just buy it and, be a good guy and help him out.
It's really good. It's like, all the fact that it's Nick Cage aside, it's the most meta thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but it's also like it's very good. I really liked it. But they used to do intermissions for movies back in like, well, now I say it, but like a super long time ago, back in like the 30s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Gone with the Wind, for example, which is 4 hours long. There's literally an intermission built into it, and still, when you watch it, like that's part of the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why they. Yeah, I don't think people would have a problem with them bringing that stuff back. For your point exactly.
No, now even that like AMC can sell alcohol now. I think it's only in New York City maybe, but either way, like they can sell alcohol now. Like, what a great social thing to do. Like, go to the movies, you grab a beer, hour in, intermission, you go chat about like
what's going to happen next.
What's going to happen next, and then you pop back in, because that's like one of the other toughest parts is like, I'm not going to go watch a movie with somebody that I don't really know that well, because it's just me and somebody that I kind of know, that we sit there for an hour, say hi on the way in and say bye on the way out. Like, it would be a great little social thing to have 15 minutes to go in there, chat, get more in touch with people. Like, if I go watch a movie with someone now, it's like, oh, I know you. Like, we don't have much to talk. Like, we don't need to talk about it. We can just go watch a movie.
Right.
But yeah, I could go for some movie intermissions.
That's a
I hope
great
someone
idea.
from AMC is listening to this. I know you guys got some notable listeners. I'm sure somebody can
Couple
pull
of
some
higher
strings.
ups.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a really good idea, actually.
So I'm interested in this. Do you know like who your listeners are? Like, is it mostly just like people
Not like
in Buffalo?
specifically. Oh yeah, like
the demographics
and stuff. Yeah. A lot of Buffalo. I want to say most of it is in Buffalo. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of Buffalo, and then like New York City, Florida, Texas, Dallas and surrounding area, part of Texas, and then California. And there's some other place we've been doing really well. I think Puerto Rico or something, maybe.
Yeah. Well, shout out all of those places.
Yeah.
All beautiful places.
In my mind, Puerto Rico, I think you should be a state if you want to.
Yeah.
So
whatever. Yeah. As long as you're down for it.
As long as you keep listening.
That's cool though, because I don't listen to all the shows, but I definitely keep up with the social media part of it, watch all the clips, and I've noticed you guys are getting a lot of traction. And it was funny, I actually saw someone post something recently, like 1/100% of all podcasts make it to 100 episodes, which I think you guys crossed last year, right?
Yeah, because this will be 145, I think.
Yeah, so this is like your shining moment. This is your year. This is your breakout year. Everyone knows.
I hope so.
What, second year? No, second year.
This
bump.
is we're
should be like
no. I think
May.
this is the third year.
Yeah, like May.
We do
like
one every week, so it's like 52 a year, basically.
Yeah.
So we're almost 3 years.
Because I remember like one of
but the first year was all Zoom.
Yeah, well, COVID. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Ruined
which
everything.
sucked.
And
you were on a Zoom episode too.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to remember, because it was probably March-ish of
I don't know.
After March, because we were already locked in the place. Yeah, March-ish of 21, something like that. Had to have been near the beginning, but. Yeah, you guys have made it a long way. Congratulations to you.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, we're working on it. I mean, we've talked about it on the show a lot in the past. Not too much recently, I guess, but like there's so many podcasts, or specifically, but like a lot of other stuff. There's so many podcasts where people start them and it'll be like 3 friends, and there'll be that one who's like, I'll make the Instagram page or the Twitter page or whatever, and then they do like 2 episodes, and then that Instagram page is just fucking out there, like sitting unused, untouched for years and like forever. There's like a full-on podcast Instagram graveyard out there.
Oh yeah.
And the idea of that keeps me up at night. Like it just swirls around my head. Like I just don't want to be one of those that like gets completely abandoned. Just the ruins of the ancient Greek ruins of the internet. You know, just these podcast things like that.
And there's people out there that'll enjoy listening to you. I feel like the biggest thing when I listen to podcasts is just like, I always say, like, I don't really get starstruck when I meet like famous people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we go out, we meet Sabres players, met Bills players, like you meet famous people here and there in your life, and it's always just like, oh, you're just a regular person. I met the dudes from Part of My Take, I don't know, a year ago, and it was just like I was just kind of like frozen still, because you get to this point where it's like, oh, you hear their lives every day, and it feels like you're like friends. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't even need to introduce myself. Like, I know these guys, and and then you remember, wait, they don't know me. They don't know anything about me. And
It's the weirdest
it's
thing.
just like finding that niche of people who really like you, like listening to you, like what you have to say. And I think that's the cool part about it. And obviously you were just talking about, you have listeners all over the place who I'm sure are once you get into it, are listening every week, and they're like, oh, it's Matt and Andy. Got to hear what Matt and Andy got to say today.
No, it is weird, especially when you start doing it, and then, I love podcasts so much, like Pardon Your Take and stuff, and the whole, the reason that podcasting is so successful, right, is because it's just people talking. There's no real time constraints or anything, and they're, especially because before this podcast got really big, people were just saying whatever they wanted because it was like, oh, only a couple hundred people are listening or whatever, right? So that just became the culture of podcasting. And it's true, like, if people listen, the people that listen to this podcast every week know me a lot better than like some of my family members know me, because and Matthew, like, it's always,
you're always
we're just talking and laughing and saying, like, just being like our honestly true selves right here.
Yeah.
This is the one place it feels comfortable to do that.
Yeah.
So it is weird.
I'm sure it'd be real funny if you just like, okay, now they're all sitting right here, right in front of you, watching you do it in real time.
Yeah, if you never thought about it like that.
You guys gotta have have you guys had call-ins yet? You guys should have some.
Matthew wants a soundboard and stuff, which I'm honestly warming up to recently, but also, like, I want him to set it up. I'm like, hey, if you want to do it, take the initiative and set it up. I know he doesn't know how to, which is why so I'm telling him to, so it's like not my problem either way.
I think a call-in day could be fun.
Call-in day could be good. I don't know. I want to do a Patreon soonish.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to take a lot longer to do than we think. So that could be something on that. But I don't know. The other thing about that is it feels a little like it's almost like if you go, or I heard this story once. Like, I heard, Nick Kroll and John Mulaney.
Yeah.
The Too Much Tuna thing.
Yeah.
Like that. So when they were going to do that show originally, they thought about just making it like a Q&A Broadway show, like, every night. And that's like the no work model, kind of, you know what I mean? And I like that the pressure is on Matthew and I every week to, like, come in hot, like, bring something good to the table. And that it's gotten a lot easier to do that as, like, time has gone on, like, big time. Like, so many weeks in the past have been like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, we have to write down topics and stuff. And now it's just kind of at this point where we're both so tapped into things happening around us and around the world anyways, that it's like, whatever, like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And obviously,
we didn't come in with a schedule today, and I feel like we've been going for a good amount of time here.
Well, it does feel like we've been going for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably do the who would win if you're down for that.
We can hop into that.
Okay.
I gotta pull up the movies of one of our people real quick. Oh,
okay.
Odd actually recently got back to us. That was nice of him. Really wish you would have woke up. Thanks, Odd. We appreciate it. Well, you didn't. So, I'll give you a second to. Oh, just because I got it open here, because you were talking about these nice new chairs.
Yeah.
I'm listening to a commercial the other day. It's like heated chair, cooled chair. It's got like a USB-C plug in the back. It massages you, and it's just like a regular chair, right? It's got like all these crazy things, and I'm like, man, this thing sounds sick. Like, they sold me on this commercial. It's like the base model. Hold on, it comes out to $13.49. So, if you're just rolling in cash and can afford a chair, this chair looks pretty sweet.
That reminds me, you ever get those Instagram ads for, like, the crazy beds that have, like, all, like, a fucking cooler in it or whatever, like, all that shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck buys those? Like, it'd be so cool to have, but also you're getting real close to, like, the Wall-E shit where you just, like, never leave your bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those things are so fucking expensive. I don't remember how much, but like, who are who's actually buying those? I gotta know.
Hopefully
like,
me one day.
I guess so, but like, does Elon Musk even have one of those? Or like, not Elon. 'cause
He
that
wouldn't
guy's-
tell you about it. He tells you that he
Sure.
lives in like a trailer. I don't believe that shit.
No, he
for a
doesn't. He
second.
bought his whole neighborhood because he didn't want to have neighbors.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you think about Warren? So do you think Warren Buffett like doesn't actually live in that house in Oklahoma or wherever?
Yes, I saw someone tweeting about this today, like the great Warren Buffett PR, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, he still clips coupons. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He does not sit there and clip coupons. You're so full of shit. If you're telling me Warren Buffett sits there and clips coupons, I don't even believe that he eats McDonald's every day. He's like 100 years old. Nobody survives that long eating the same McDonald's lunch every day.
Fountain of youth, baby, supersize me.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, let's say he does live there and actually cut coupons. Like that just makes him a crazy person.
Yeah.
Or a complete sociopath, which he may be anyways. I don't know. You know, you always wonder about guys at that level of business and with that kind of wealth. But if he's just doing it for like the conquering element of business, essentially, then yeah, he's just an absolute lunatic.
Think he ever like cuts out he like calls up and he's like, "Hey guys, do the 2-for-1 chicken this week," and then he like waits for the coupon to come out and then he goes home and cuts it out and he's like, "Nailed it."
Wait, he calls like his own like a
Yeah.
company that he has stake in.
He's like,
and
"Put
is
the lotion 50% off. I'm almost out."
It's like, sir, we'll send you some. No.
No, I gotta clip the coupon.
I like to clip it.
Yeah.
That'd be.
They're just playing with him. They like send him his own coupon book, and he's like, "Coupons are great. I don't know why everyone doesn't use them." And he's getting like a specialized coupon book.
Yeah.
I'm actually pissed. You get those value pack things in the mail. You know what I'm talking about? It's
Yeah.
giant. They're never coupons. They're just ads. Like I open them up, and I'm always
I
like
know.
juiced up. I'm like, all right, let's like. I'm like hoping there's like a pizza shop thing or something, because like I'd order some extra pizza that week, and I opened one the other day like an idiot, and it was just I was so disappointed.
Do you remember there were like full-on coupon books, but you had to pay for them?
Yeah, those were legit.
So you got to
though.
buy the books, yeah. But still, like, you had to pay for them. They didn't just
I
send
loved
you like
Al
coupons.
Cube would always do buy one entree, get one entree free.
I'm a La Galera guy, and La Galera always had some great
Yeah.
deals in those
Yeah.
too. Those books ruled. I wonder if they still make those. I wonder. Do you think it's harder? You know how like just like people that got to sell like candy or shit for school, like stuff like that. Do you think that's harder to do than it used to be?
No, because I think it's inflation proof. Like I bought those Niagara Chocolates candy bars the other day, and they were still $1, and I was
Yeah.
like, these were
That's
$1
true.
when I was like I always am just like, oh, here's $5, I'll take 5 of them, and I
Right.
eat them all like almost immediately.
Interesting. Yeah, so maybe it's worked in their favor because they've stayed the same price. People
Yeah.
feel like they can buy more.
Yeah, they're
So
just
they're
buying a
at
ton
the
of
end
them.
of the day, they're spending more money on it. But I remember like walking door to door for like the 3 months that I was in Boy Scouts trying to sell like popcorn or whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like boxes of popcorn. It was like the things of like one microwavable popcorn
I don't
bag for like $1.
I don't even know why do they pick some like popcorn? Come on.
That's the thing, dude, is because I remember pulling this wagon and being like, the Girl Scouts are selling a product
Yeah,
that people
cookies.
actually want. Like, that shit literally sells itself. Thin Mints are so fucking good if you put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
All that shit. And I'm selling, like, literally Pop Smart or whatever that one brand is
Yeah.
or whatever. Or not just some, like,
They stuck
shit.
you a Pop Smart, and these girls get cookies that I'm calling them before they come out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, when's the Girl Scout cookie time? It's like the best time of the year when they're sitting there with that little table in front of Walmart, and they got cookies sitting there.
That's the good thing about my fiance having like a real job is she works with people that have kids who need
Yeah.
to move these Girl Scout
Yeah.
cookies. So she'll come and she'll be
Move
like, "Hey,
Girl Scout cookies. Okay.
dude, you got to move units. You got to move units if you're going to be in the Girl Scouts." And she'll come in and she'll be like, "Hey, Dave's daughter or whatever is selling cookies. Like, how many of what do you want?" And then like boom, 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 and then they just show up.
That's
I'm like,
Ellie
perfect.
brought home one of those. Remember the buckets of cookie dough?
"Oh,
She brought home
vaguely,
one of those,
yeah.
and every time she brought it to my house during the blizzard, or maybe it was after the blizzards. I don't know. She brought it to my house and forgot it there, and it's obviously me, Canada, and Trey that live together. And every time I go back to her house, she's like, "Did you bring the cookie dough with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, babe, I forgot again." I'm like, I don't know how I ate like 6 of them last night. You scoop it out, put it on the tray, and then you got to have a couple spoonfuls for yourself.
Gotta have a couple spoonfuls. Nothing better than that.
Absolutely amazing.
Eating that raw cookie dough, that stuff rules. How did you make out during the blizzard, by the way? I know, Matt, because you were at your house, right? So Matthew told me a little bit
of what
happened.
So,
but you guys were in one of the definitely worse than right here.
Probably one of the worst spots we could be in,
Yeah.
given the amount of snow and the lack of snow plowing.
Like the tier down from the full on like iced houses.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not close enough to the water to
Yeah.
get like full on iced up, but I remember around like 2:00 that day, like the day it started, because everyone always says like it's gonna be the worst blizzard ever, and like work was slowing down, whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get a haircut for Christmas. Like, I gotta look good. And I figured some people would cancel because of the blizzard. And so I call up the barber shop. They say, yeah, just come in right now. I go out there. I get a haircut. Probably took me like 45 minutes to drive there. It's usually like a 15-minute drive. The way home, I literally had to pull over on the corner of Colvin and Sheridan in a gas station because you couldn't see across Sheridan to know if you could go or not. So finally I was like, all right, I'm either going to get stuck here or like something's going to happen, but I need to just send it. So I just send it across. Thankfully, like I'm familiar with the streets, so like I knew how to get back home, but I go to pick up Ellie. I was like, hey, it's pretty bad. You want to just come over for the night? And she's like, sure. And you obviously know from there. I mean, we couldn't move for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And we had the dog with us too. So, I mean, dude, if she would have left the dog at the house, I'd have no clue what we would have done. Like, there was just no moving around. And, yeah, so the dog got to eat like a queen for a few days because I didn't have any dog food. So she got chicken, rice, and veggies every night. So good for her. She made out like a bandit during the storm. Like, just got to hang out with her owners the whole day and got to eat people food 24/7. And I don't know. I had my Xbox, so I had a lot of fun. Ellie, I don't think had as much fun. She was just getting real antsy in the house.
She would just sit there while you were playing Xbox?
Oh, yeah.
That does sound like a nightmare.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm like, all the guys are playing Xbox, babe. Like, I gotta hop on and play for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, like if you told me, oh, we can have a blizzard tomorrow and you can sit inside and do nothing, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then it happens and you're like, no, it's not as much fun actually. But we got lucky. The street, like I had one lane on my street, so I was able to make it out for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
But her street didn't, it started on Friday. Her street didn't get plowed out till Thursday. So
holy shit.
I was just like picking her up on the corner every day to drive her to work or go out and do whatever we had to do.
Yeah. But
yeah, quite the storm.
It was definitely wild, man. Hopefully people will shut up about the blizzard of 77 now, but I doubt it.
I was curious about this the other day. I was like, worst blizzards of all time, like Googled it.
Mm-hmm.
In Iran back in like 19 something, I don't know, long time ago. Not like crazy long, but 20, 30 years ago, there was a blizzard similar to what we had, except it went for 8 days, 26 feet of snow.
What?
Yeah. They had, like, kind of sad, but, like, there was some villages that got completely snowed in, like not, like, thousands of people, but, like, there was one that was, like, 100 people. Everybody died.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. 26 feet? What do you do with 26 feet of snow? Like, that's really, like, just hunker down and wait. Like, sorry.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Can you imagine 26 feet of snow here?
No.
Like, that's... My house isn't 26 feet tall, I don't think.
Oh my God, dude.
And like we were covered up to our windows, but like I guess if I had to, I could have went up to the second floor.
Sure.
But yeah, absolutely crazy. I can't imagine that.
It's a miracle that any of us are here, that our ancestors lived through anything. Like I was talking about the Oregon Trail the other day. It's like everybody died on that.
I say all the time, like Buffalo's been here for a long time. How way back then were they just like, yeah, no, I mean, it snows like 8 feet in a day during the winter, but the summer's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't got to sweat.
They were all just like cool with it.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's a miracle that, it's insane. It's so weird. But we'll do, let's do the who would win real quick, and then we'll get you out of here.
All right.
The who would win of the week this week is Medea versus Mrs. Doubtfire. Tyler Perry's Medea versus Mrs. Doubtfire, played by Robin Williams. Emily's point when we were deciding this is a very good one, that Medea, while played by Tyler Perry, the character Medea is an actual woman, whereas Mrs. Doubtfire is a man dressed as a woman. And also, it's like Robin Williams when he's like, what, late 30s probably? So he's like still doing pretty well physically. He's not necessarily in the prime shape of his life anymore, but he's got to be doing pretty well. And Madea is just a super old woman.
Yeah, but she's kind of a badass.
And she's been to jail. I see you have the movies pulled up.
I was trying to remember which one is like. So me and my dad used to go watch all the Tyler Perry movies.
No way.
I'd say up to like 2012. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
And the Madea Goes to Jail was just like the pinnacle. But she is a badass though. But I think I'm kind of with you here. Like Robin Williams is just kind of like, he's putting on his WWE costume, getting into character, and then going out and beating some ass. And
here's the thing, because Madea, like, she's going to come out swinging. Like, she is going to really fucking go after Robin Williams, and it's going to take a while for him to kind of recuperate that and what's going on. But Robin Williams, I love that movie, Mrs. Doubtfire, and, like, you do want him to be with his kids, but he's also kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, trying to get in the way of his ex-wife's happiness. He's, like, really mean to, like, the new guy who his kids do like and stuff. I think he, like, I can't remember if it's his fault that the dude has, like, an allergic reaction at one point. I'm pretty sure that's what happens in the movie. Like, he's kind of, like, he's not the best guy. So I don't know that he'd have any qualms necessarily beating up an old woman. So this is a pretty good fight, I think.
Yeah, I think the other, like, big advantage for Madea is that he obviously gets to put on all the gear. Like, he's kind of wearing some protective gear here, too.
That's true, but it's got to be pretty heavy, so it's going to weigh him down a little bit.
Slow him down, tire him out.
Yeah.
I think it's really about how long can you avoid Madea for? Because I agree with you. She's coming out swinging.
It's a good call. And with the prosthetic, taking into account Robin Williams' prosthetics and even Medea's age, she's got stamina.
Does Madea get Tyler Perry's strength? Does she get Tyler Perry's strength, though?
She's pretty strong. Like, it seems from what I've seen in the movies. Like,
she's a man.
Yeah, but what I've seen in the movies is that she does have, like, the character Madea has pretty much Tyler Perry equivalent strength anyways.
Yeah. This is kind of evening out.
How tall is Tyler Perry? It is evening out the more we talk about it.
This could be huge. If Tyler Perry's like 6'4" and Robin Williams like 5'6", this could...
Robin Williams is definitely a shorty.
Let's see. I'll check Robin Williams' height. Oh, he's 5'7". This could be bad.
Tyler Perry's got to be... Tyler Perry's 6'5". Madea is 6'5". She's huge.
I think Medea's taking this.
The thing is, Medea's never going to back down. Ever. Like, she's never going to give in. I think Madea... I think Medea's going to win this fight. This is also the first who would win of the new year, which I'm just now realizing. And I think Medea's got a great shot to make it all the way to the Tournament of Champions. Like, I think she's going to probably win the Instagram poll, and I think she's going to take this one.
I think now that we're kind of, 6'5" is big. It's a big woman right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think
a sturdy lady.
I think she might be running away with this now.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I
will
her
give her
wingspan
two.
alone, because like you have to think Medea's number one move is probably like whacking somebody with her purse.
Yeah,
and I think Robin Williams in the Mrs. Doubtfire outfit, that's also going to be his initial idea, but he doesn't have as much practice with that skill set, you know what I mean? And just Medea's wingspan alone, I mean, that thing's gonna, the momentum of that bag,
not even getting close,
it's gonna, oh my god, it's gonna knock his fucking head off.
So you know what I'm really thinking about through this whole thing is how great the Madea celebration would be. Just like, you know, like when Conor McGregor wins a fight and it's just like, I am the champion of the world.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing here. I'd have to imagine we have some clips we can go back. Like, Medea's had to have been in fights in a few of these movies.
Oh, 100%.
I'm
That's another thing. Medea's got a lot of fighting experience.
Yeah. And I feel like Robin Williams, like if he won as Mrs. Doubtfire, it's just like, oh, thank you very much. Glad that I could win this fight today.
I mean, yeah, at the end. I mean, it's just a man beating up an old woman at that point. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think, yeah, let's lock it in for Medea then.
I think I like Medea too. That's where my
100%.
vote will be going.
I'm glad this was the first one of the new year
Yeah.
because I want to see Medea in the tournament. I can't wait.
You guys need to call up. Remember, like the Greatest Warrior show, where they like plug in all the stats and
Yeah.
you
I
guys need
remember
to
that
get
stuff.
those guys on board.
Yeah, I know.
Call them up. Be like, I have a great way you can revamp the show.
Yeah, but the other thing is like these are so last minute. Like when we come up with these,
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we gonna do? Come up with it and then put all that shit in? I guess, but it just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't feel that worth it, honestly. Because also the other thing is like then you have an answer that feels very definitive. Where I think the fun of this game is that it's not necessarily. You know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna have different opinions. Like the Tournament of Champions that we just did. Everybody was commenting that Darth Vader would win, but the poll actually Tony Stark did win, and that's who Matthew and I picked when we talked it out. So it's just like that's part of the fun of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll lock in Medea for this one. Who would win? Matthew would probably say vote on it on Instagram on Friday and all that stuff.
Definitely go get your votes in.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you guys done a you versus Matthew yet?
No, I have never been a part of a who would win. Matthew, we one time did Matthew versus a Ford Fiesta. Matthew thought he could beat up a Ford Fiesta.
Have you heard his theory with Derrick Henry? Has that been brought up yet?
I don't think so.
He thinks he could tackle Derrick Henry in open field.
Oh, yes. He told me about this like the other week.
Yeah, no.
What?
I had to send him
crazy.
the video recently of those guys that used to do sports science, and they had one of the science dudes go up against an NFL lineman on the line, and they like both got down to 3-point stance, and I'm telling you, he threw this dude a good 6 feet.
Yeah.
Matt thinks like if he just throws his body at him, like he'll get him.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got an idea of like a full system. The problem is it's just not going to work. He mentioned that to me just the other week. He thinks if he had 10 tries, he could get him at least once.
If we have any NFL running backs listening right now, please send a DM to me or to the Two in the Cooler Instagram.
Or to any of Alex's burner accounts.
Yeah, or to one of my burners, and let me know. We'll set something up. I'm happy to put Matt's life on the line.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's literally only going to take, 6 minutes out of your day to run that 10 times and have Matthew miss?
Yeah, and you're probably not even going to hit the ground, so it'll be a pretty easy
Not
day.
even close.
And if you fall down, I swear, just please, if we do this and you get tackled, we're not friends anymore.
That'd be so...
Yeah.
Before we go, I just want to mention the game Toothpaste because I really want to like make that the official sport of the company and like
we can do that.
I want to like do like a toothpaste league and stuff. I want to like stream it and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We need like a pool and obviously we got to like get waivers going and stuff, but like watching, I've never played it. It's not really for me, but watching you guys play that game is so funny.
So have you explained the game
Not
before?
in a long time.
So just the game is there's all you need is a pool with an area to run around and a toothpaste cap. And just the game is one person dives down to the bottom, puts the toothpaste cap down there, then gets up as quick as they can. And from there, it's full contact on the outside of the pool. Like I would say you're not trying to kill each other, but when you get to those serious points, it gets a little intense. And basically, the toothpaste cap floats to the top, and you can't really see it until you can see it. And then you got to jump in, and the first part of your body that hits the water has to be your hand. So you can go like kind of between your legs. You can dive hand first. You can do like the little front flip grab. And there's 4, 5, 6 people competing for this toothpaste cap. And every time you grab it, it's a point. We play up to 10, usually somewhere in there. Win by 2. And everybody's involved. If it's 10-9, 11-10, if it gets up to 15-14 and one guy's at 2 and you go on a quick 15 streak, that's your win right there. So
it's a fun game to watch. It's so crazy. Honestly, it's for such like a simple concept. It's like insane, and you guys go so hard at it. I will say one time I was watching you guys, and I think the truest side of Matthew I've ever seen came out, because it was you, him, and Logar playing, and Matthew was in the lead, and he somehow got it started. You guys were trying to team up against him, and then Matthew somehow got you and Logar to just start yelling at each other completely, and Matthew was like getting heated a little bit too, and then he like walked away and he just like smiled at me like, I fucking got him, like they're toasting on him, like, God, this fucking kid, this master manipulator in toothpaste.
I took them 10-0 the one day, just like 1-10-0. Probably won't do that again for a very long time, but immediately after, Canada was so pissed about it, I changed my Xbox name to Toothpaste Champ. And yeah, that was definitely a highlight.
Hey, that's on them, man.
But we can definitely get that sport going. I'm happy to come and do some toothpaste anytime.
I would love to do that, dude. Yeah. Well, thanks again for being here, pal.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Andy, and look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
The first ever like sit-in for somebody, almost 3 years, and it took a full FAA countrywide shutdown for Matthew for us to miss a week.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Sucks.
That's pretty crazy. It does suck.
He ruined his Iron Man award, so you've got the Iron Man going now.
That's true.
And you can bring that up every week.
I never thought about that.
How long until you think Matt's trying to sabotage you showing up?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do you think he knows how to like set everything up and get it going?
No, but as long as he can get Emily here, then it's fine.
You've got to.
But Emily, yeah, I don't know. If he starts pretending,
he's
being
gonna be
nice
like
to
coughing on you, trying to give you COVID. And,
I can't get sick.
Oh,
I've never gotten sick.
He's never.
I actually no. I got
this
sick
is
once
like
in
classic
7th grade.
last words.
I know, but I still haven't gotten COVID. Matthew's gotten it 4 fucking times. Like the kid is just walking bacteria. Yeah, he is. He's a COVID machine. Yeah. So I'll always be here for better or worse, whether people like it or not. That's the way it goes.
All right.
All right. Thanks, pal. Let's get out of here, man. It's weird ending the show without Matthew, honestly, but we'll roll out of here.
Do we still clap at the? Is that?
No? Oh no, that was only for like Discord when we had to line it up over Zoom, all the audio and stuff. But all right, thanks again, pal. Thanks everybody for listening. Let's get out of here.